Cladding fires before Grenfell. There were many. This is Roubaix in France, 2012. Flames break out on the lower floor. Within minutes, the fire has spread to the top of the building. Watching on in Britain, the man in charge of government's fire safety, Brian Martin.
There's been some in a number of different sites around the world.
November 2012, another cladding fire, this time in Dubai. But the civil servant in charge of Britain's building regulations wasn't concerned there would be a similar problem over here.
No, something I've asked myself several times is whether we should have looked harder at that time.
But cladding fires were happening around Britain, like this one at the Edge building in Salford, Manchester, 2005. Firefighters were so surprised they later set alight the panels to see how flames spread. The inquiry asked if building regulations were still too vague after this.
Some might say vague, but what we were thinking was broad.
But despite these cladding fires in the UK and abroad, the coalition government elected in 2010 and led by David Cameron wanted to reduce red tape in the building industry in the years before Grenfell. But Brian Martin, in charge of fire safety for government, didn't stand in the way of less regulation.
It's not civil servants' job to confront government policy. It's their job to implement it.
Is it not also a civil servant's job to advise government on what's safe?
None of the things we did, in my view, reduced the level of safety.
And he told the inquiry the priority of life safety had an economic cost.
The country would be bankrupt.
Would it?
We'd all starve to death, ultimately, I suppose, if you took it to its extreme. I'm not sure that would happen in practice. But that's the policy conundrum that governments are faced with, is you need to balance the cost of regulation with its benefits.
The human cost at Grenfell was 72 lives. Rags Martel, ITV News.